Welcome to Black Screen Finance. Before we even get started today, I just want to make sure that you guys do us a huge favor. Like, share, and smash the subscribe button to help us make sure that we're building the community. My name is Ralph.
My name is Nikis, and this is our 5th episode. Stay tuned. Opportunity to discuss, debt management, credit management, and for this week, we just wanted to go over it a little bit more in depth. That credit is actually a good thing.
Wait, one more time for the people in the back.
Credit is actually a good thing.
That's true.
Just for everything else in life, it all depends on how you use it. If you abuse it, that's when it becomes bad, to your finances and to your long-term goals. For us, we want to discuss a little bit more in depth, ways you can kind of manage and ways you can kind of strategies you can use to actually, improve your situation where credit is concerned. What are your thoughts about that, Ralph?
Yeah, so the most effective method that we found is the snowball method, which takes basically advantage of momentum. The more little things you get done, the easier it is to accomplish the big goal. Right. So what it means is, or the way it's planned out is, if you were to write out all the people that you owe money to, so if you, whether it's credit cards, your auto loans, whatever it may be, you go ahead and list those out from smallest to largest. You basically make the minimum payments on all the larger ones, and the very smallest one, you put as much as you can in it to pay it down as much as possible. Whatever that number is, now once you finish that smallest payment, then you move on to the second one. You put whatever money you were putting into that one that you just paid off, and you put it into the next one, and then you continue to make that progress going forward. And I just found that that's literally the most effective.
So let me ask you a question though. So what would you say about, if an individual would ask, so why would I not just focus on paying off some of the bigger ones because the interest might be higher in those, or I might be paying more in interest? Why not do it that way?
For me, I just think that, if you start at the biggest one, it's kind of discouraging, because what ends up happening is, if you're sitting there and you're fighting the fight on the big balance, and you're kind of ignoring the smaller ones, it might take you a long time to pay off that big one, right? And if you're in a situation already, then obviously, there's something that's holding you back from even getting that one out of the way. So I'd focus on, starting on the smaller one so you can see some progress and then working your way up. Yeah,
and I agree. In my time, that's one of the things that I've seen to be most impactful were individuals, because if you really look at it, the reason why most individuals are in the situation that they're in is because they feel stuck, or they have a bad habit, and they don't know how to get out of it. So at the end of the day, when you do the snowball method, what it does, it gives you that boost, that confidence to show you that, I can do this.
Exactly.
And then you keep, paying off one, paying off two, and then also you're building that habit, right? But when you start from the highest, you still get in that mode where you feel stuck, you can't get out.
Exactly.
And you're not building that momentum.
Exactly.
So I definitely agree with Ralph that, doing the snowball method is probably the best and most effective, depending on your situation, of course. It's going to be the best and most effective method.
Absolutely. And I mentioned it in one of the previous episodes too, when we were talking about it, the emotions piece is huge when it comes to finances, right? So you want to make sure that you're rewarding yourself or making yourself feel good for the things that you accomplish. So if you're starting small, the gratification that you're going to get from saying, hey, I knocked this out, that's huge. And that's going to continue to help you build for the next one, right? So once you build that emotion up in there and you're making sure you're positive and you're thinking about, you're actually progressing out of it versus that you're feeling that you're stuck, like we were talking about before, that's huge. And that only helps you get out of those detrimental situations when it comes to that.
And then also one of the cool things too is, if you haven't got the chance, send us an email. We have we created a Black Screen budget sheet. A lot of individuals have definitely reached out. Just send us an email, and what we'll do is just say single or family, and we send you a customized budget sheet that's going to be tailored towards your needs. You can go back and watch one of our previous episodes too, where we kind of go in depth of how to structure a budget sheet. What this does, it kind of put all your finances in perspective and then allow you set you up for success, where you can attack your credit and then attack all your expenses, attack these cards, and then also you can always reach out, and we we love to help in whatever way we can, because that's why we created this platform.
Absolutely. So again, just email us at blackscreenfinance@gmail.com, and we'll email you out the Black Screen budget sheet to help you get those finances in order so that you can go ahead and tackle the debt as hard as possible as you can. You definitely get yourself in some trouble when it comes to credit cards and debt, but credit in general, like we said earlier in the beginning of the episode, it's good, right? So Nikis, in some of your experiences, what are some of the things that credit allows you to do, and how have you benefited from good credit going forward?
Yeah, and I definitely would like to say this with caution, but for me, I definitely use credit for various things, right? first and foremost, by having good credit, it automatically put you in a good position, for you to get better rates, right? And for me, when I see better rates, that look that's just savings, right? If you're buying a car, you see some people, they have 8, 9, 10%,
I've seen 20
interest.
before.
So you have good credit, you're looking at 3, 4, 5, even 5 is a stretch, but you're looking at 3, 4, with good credit on a monthly basis. That's savings. You're putting that in your budget, you're saving money right there just by having good credit. And that doesn't require you to go do anything crazy. You can literally just use a credit card, pay the minimum, and then just make sure you're paying that off, on time. And then also, there's 2 different types of dates that you want to make sure you're aware of, right? You want to make sure that you're aware of the due date, and you want to make sure you're aware of the date that your credit card will report, your statement balance, to the bureau.
Yep, that's huge.
Yeah, those are some of the areas that you got, because what happened is after your statement, balance is due, you resume to start buying stuff, and then there's a balance on your card again, and then they'll send that over to the bureau, and you wonder why your credit's not growing, right? And then another thing too is just making sure that you're always utilizing at least 30% less than what your credit line is. So you never want to go over that. That just show that you're dependent on your credit card. So these are like some stuff that you got to make sure that you're in tune with. And then also, like, as for us right now, we got to make sure like we leverage our credit for investment purposes. That allow you to be attractive to lenders. That way you can borrow money. So now you can leverage others' money, to kind of invest in different opportunities, so that's also big as well, but that's what I, pretty much leverage credit for. And to be honest, man, if you use it the right way, also big thing, if you're an individual who, are strapped for cash, you can search for cars that give you cash back.
Yeah.
Right. But you never want to spend out of your means, right? If you have your budget, you know what your monthly budget is. You always want to make sure that's within your means. Don't get distracted or attracted to kind of buy extra stuff that you don't need. That's asking for trouble.
Yep. You got an extra $10,000 line. I got the money in there, I'll spend it.
Yeah, no, that's asking for trouble. But definitely, you can, if, for instance, instead of using your debit card, use your credit card, because one, it gives you protection as well.
Yep.
If something should happen, you can always dispute that, and you can get that money back, as opposed to when you use your debit card, it's a little bit harder, right?
Yeah, it's almost like dropping cash outside and then going to the bank and saying, "Hey, I lost $1,000 on James Street."
So that's one of the beautiful thing about it as well. So definitely from a protection standpoint, you could definitely use it depending on what you do. If you travel a lot, you could do miles, get a card that reward you for miles.
Pay for a vacation.
For like me and myself, we have enough credit right now in one of my cards, that we can book a full when the time allows us. We can't go anywhere right now, but when the time allows, we have enough money that we built up where we could just book a round trip ticket for 2. So that's a good thing as well. But at the same time, it's most important because if you have an annual fee, if you're getting charged for interest, and then when you add all that up, it defeats the purpose, right?
Yep.
So as long as you manage it the right way, I'm not paying any interest right now, and I just use my regular house expenses, and I get the mileage for that, and then that adds up. No expensive. I pay an annual fee like $95, but at the same time now we have over $1,000 for the year. So it makes sense for us. I'm betting on myself.
Yeah.
Right. I'm betting on myself and I'm winning. So those are some of the things that you guys could do. What about you?
But mostly some of the same things, so I leverage that one, obviously, to buy my first home and give me a nice low interest rate on that. To buy my car as well, same thing again. I wasn't worried about the interest piece because I knew that the credit was there. So just making sure that the biggest thing is make sure you make your payments on time, so that you're not increasing your percentage there, because you definitely don't want to go from a potential, think about it, going from 3 to 5% to all the way to like 15 and above. That's a lot of money it's just throwing out for having bad habits. So just to bring it back again, just making sure that the budget sheet is there for you, that you're solidified in that realm, so that it makes it easier for you to stay on time and make those payments consistently. With the people that you owe money to, in terms of like your creditors, and just making sure that you're leveraging credit to your benefit, because we're all going to need it at some point. So The biggest thing that I have, again, is just make sure that everything is paid on time, because it gives you the freedom and opportunity to get those loans when you're ready to own a business, to buy a home at a lower interest rate, to buy a car as well with a lower interest rate as well. So it's all about making sure that you're healthy financially, so that you're not paying more money for things that you want to do as you progress in life.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree, man. It's good if you leverage it the right way. And like Ralph said,
credit is good.
Credit is definitely good. But at the same time, just live within your means. If you do that, you'll be well on your way, to make some big moves. And you, like what Jay-Z say,
financial freedom's my only hope.
You know what I mean? And then, credit is kind of like the way that, most people leverage building wealth.
Absolutely. And if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. The whole episode here today, so I just wanted to go over some of the things that could either positively or negatively impact credit depending on how you treat it. So one of the biggest things would be payment history. So payment history just means that basically you don't want to have late payments. So what we tend to do, what we find most effective, is we automate everything so that it removes that hurdle from us.
Yeah, right? You want to set it and forget it.
Facts. Definitely, because doing that takes the pressure off of you, and it's getting done whenever the due date is done, because that's something that you actually set. So 100% agree. The next thing will be age of credit. So age of credit basically is the amount of length that you've had credit for, so that also matters as well. And then third is credit card utilization or credit utilization, which means that you don't want to pass the 30% threshold. So if your line is $1,000, you don't want to pass $300, because it shows that you're highly dependent on credit.
And one thing too, they also look for is new line of credit, right? That can be impactful, and like Ralph said, it can also impact you in a negative way. There's no magic number like, if you have this different these number of new line of credit, that it would impact you negatively. There's no magic number. However, you definitely don't want to be going out rampant and opening up a whole bunch of cards or taking on new debt and stuff like that. Also, you have the other thing is credit mix.
Yeah.
Credit mix is just, some individuals might have student loans, they might have, a mortgage, they might have credit cards, and they might, be looking to get like, auto loan, so.
And hold up. And just because you get approved for an auto loan doesn't mean that you go out and you get the biggest and best car out there. Man, go to the auction, get yourself a hoopty, man. That'll do for now.
Come on, man. Yeah, but that's a big one as well. And like Ralph said, if you don't have to, just stay within your means. Just make sure you're budgeting right, and then just living within your means,
Absolutely. And guys, again, thanks again for being here with us this long. We appreciate you. Again, from Blacc Finance, my name is Ralph.
My name is Nikis.
Peace out, guys. Thank you again.